All right. What's up, everybody? Good to see you all on a Thursday morning. Welcome to the PT on Ice Daily Show, wherever you're tuning in from, be it live on Facebook or Instagram or catching the podcast later. Thank you so much for being here. Dr. Jeff Moore, currently serving as the CEO of ICE and lead faculty for the cervical and lumbar spine divisions. Great to be with you on a Gut Check Thursday and on a Leadership Thursday. So let's cover the first one as our first order of business. Gut Check Thursday is going to be spicy. So brought straight over from the CrossFit Open, kind of an aggressive choice by Alan this week. We've got 120 wall ball shots followed by 120 calorie row. You can clearly see the problem out of the gates. Very similar movements, right? One would think their legs are not going to feel real fresh jumping on the rower after knocking out 120 wall ball shots. For those who have ever done Karen, you know what's coming at you as far as how you're going to feel when you jump onto that rower. So good luck, everybody out there. Enjoy your gut check. Please, hashtag Ice Trained, Ice Physio. Tag us on Instagram so we can share that stuff and check it out. As far as courses coming up, I will be in Greenville, South Carolina at Onward Physical Therapy with Jess and Cody this weekend. I'm actually on the way down there right now. I'm in a hotel in Asheville, North Carolina, making my way down. So I'll be down there in Greenville. Then next weekend, I'll be in Denver. We have one seat left in Denver. If anybody wants to grab it, do it today. Both courses are lumbar spine. And then I do want to note that the South Dakota State Association, Physical Therapy Association, is being led by the ICE faculty this weekend, April 24, 25. It's only $400. Tons of great stuff. So Morgan's going to be talking primary care. Megan's going to be talking running. Alan's going to be talking loading and exercise prescription. Eric's going to be talking shoulder. There's going to be a lot of great ICE content. You can go to ptonice.com, go to our live courses, and you'll see that on there as one of the options. So maybe check that out. If you're hanging around this weekend, it's virtual. If you want to jump on and join that crew. All right, so Leadership Thursday. Today, I want to talk about building a great team. Now, we've talked about this numerous times, right? And tried to give you different strategies over the years on how do you build a great team? How do you select great people for your team? Now, please don't look at this like you have to be in the leadership position selecting people who are joining a team underneath you. These concepts go for all variations of that, right? How do you choose who you're going to jump into an organization with? Who you want to apply to, right? What partners you want to bring on, who you want to tap. This is just talking about building and finding great people to do great things with. How do you identify those people? Again, we've given you lots of strategies over the years on this podcast, but today I want to talk about a specific one that I kind of call the lean-in test. And we'll get to exactly what that means here in a second. So we always say, not an original quote, but we always say, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together, right? And it's a firmly held belief, right? That we've always wanted to build horizontally before we build vertically. In particular, in this day and age, most folks are doing the opposite, which is one of the many reasons we think this methodology has a very competitive advantage. But how do you do that? Go far together with who? Right? Identifying these exceptional people is every bit as hard as it is important, and you've got to have a strategy. So over the years, one of the things that I have consistently seen in the top 5% of performers, and I'm always looking for that top 5%, is a massive capacity for authentically entertaining other people's viewpoints. So what I mean by that is these folks are able to maintain a legitimate interest and curiosity when being presented with ideas that are contrary to their perhaps emotionally held beliefs. So think about the people you know. Like literally take a second and think about the people you know, your colleagues, your friends, your family. Whose beliefs can you challenge the most? Whose beliefs can you lean into the most without pushback? Before they dig in. In other words, who will authentically hear you out, even when the information you're presenting or the opinion you're presenting, they don't necessarily like? Literally take a second and think about who are those people that don't tend to dig in, even though you know that what you're presenting runs in direct contrast to what they currently believe. Who are those people that remain curious, that remain open, that will hear you out? Now, it's interesting because many of you might say, yeah, but Jeff, those are the people, those are my friends, those are my colleagues who push back, who believe in their values the most. I could not disagree with that more. People who have really battle-tested, authentic beliefs, whose ego is not tied to those beliefs, things that they have truly come to embody as a meaningful, positive, and productive truth, are the people who are very comfortable listening to other people's contrary ideas. The reason for this is that it's people whose beliefs are really immature, whose beliefs are really fragile. Those are the people that dig in and push back because they're terrified that their belief system will be rocked, because they don't actually hold it that authentically dear. It hasn't truly been battle tested. They haven't really put it to the test. And because of that, they aren't actually very confident in it, which is why they dig back right away, right? They dig in right, they don't want to hear it, right? They don't want to hear your competing idea because they're not actually very confident that their idea can hold up to that test. On the other hand, people that have really thoughtfully and intentionally developed their ideas and challenged their ideas, and those ideas have held up, they are very open to hearing what you have to say because they don't feel as protective around them. Now, this brings up a lot of really important points for consideration. You got to think about, how did each of these different people, how did they develop these beliefs that they're holding? How did they evolve? Right? You got to think about that, because believing in something is really important, but being able to adapt your belief over time to emerging evidence, to new circumstances, is equally important. If these people have been digging in for years, that means they haven't changed in years. Well, the next big question is, will they ever change? How is your company, how is your group that's trying to do something great, how is your group going to benefit from somebody who doesn't change in the next 17 years? Give that some real thought. How do you feel about the people in our profession, about the people in whatever profession you're in, who literally haven't changed their ideas in 17 years? Do you feel like they're on the cutting edge? Do you feel like they're being innovative? Do you feel like they're the tip of the spear? Of course you don't feel that way. You feel like time has passed them by. You feel like they're perpetuating old dogmas. You might use the slang term dinosaurs, right? Like you feel like they're almost people that you're hoping will move out of the way because they won't change their ideas. It's really important to appreciate that people tend to be in one of those camps. People who are really open to listening to new concepts, even though it challenges what they think. And people who say, no, I already have the right answer. I don't need to hear that. Think about how this plays into feedback, right? One of the most important things you're going to do as a leader is try to grow the people who are coming into your organization. Well, how do you think people are how do you think people are in response to feedback who don't want to change their ideas? Don't kid yourself. You tend to adopt one of two ways of going about this. You're either somebody who holds beliefs but is very willing to listen to new ideas that might subtly change them or drastically change them, or you're on the opposite side. You're somebody who says, no, these are my beliefs, and they're not changing no matter what you say. Think about how those two different philosophies respond to the feedback that you and other team members might give that person over time. This is why I'm saying that the more that you can lean in on somebody's beliefs, emotionally held beliefs, strongly held beliefs, near and dear beliefs, before they push back, the more potential that person has inside of your organization. It's not that they don't hold their beliefs strongly. In fact, I would argue the opposite, as I did a moment ago. It's those people that probably hold their beliefs most strongly because they're confident enough to stand in peace in that space and hear what you have to say. They truly believe that chasing truth is more important than being right. So they'll hear you out. They want to hear you out. They're curious where you're coming from. Because even though they believe in what they currently hold near and dear, they don't believe it above finding truth. So they want to hear that out because it isn't about them. It's about really getting to the actual bottom of this stuff. What you're looking for, team, is people who truly have integrated their beliefs, because those are people that have true passion. Those are people that don't feel the need to push back, yet they remain open to change through emerging evidence and direct feedback. That allows you to work with them to take what they already believe to be passionate and modify it over the years to make sure you stay on that leading edge and don't get passed by. Have passion, but modifiable passion. People who you can lean into more, who don't push back because their seek for truth and their confidence in their existing beliefs allow them to be peaceful in that space. Those are the ones you're looking for. Because those are the ones that not only accept feedback, they want it. Those are the ones who don't create conflict inside your organization by pushing back on other people's ideas early, but instead let those people feel heard. This is what creates incredible culture. This is what creates meetings of humans in groups, in conversations that allow new ideas to come out that you can all rally behind and get refreshed on and charge forward with. This is how you identify incredible people. You watch how they respond when their deepest beliefs are challenged, when they're leaned into. Look for those who remain curious. Look for those who almost seem to enjoy it. Look for those whose ego is not so tied to their beliefs that they're unwilling to change. Those are the great ones. Now, before we sign off, a little self-reflection's in order. Where do you stand? Really though, take a second right now. Think about your deepest held belief. Think about the hill you're willing to die on. Yeah, we always say that. Think about your deepest held belief. When conversations come up, think about the last few that have. When conversations come up that directly challenge it, what is your level of willingness to listen and learn? How long do you stay open? How much curiosity do you have when there's conversations in that space? Not think about how quick you are to build up your argument, right? How ready you are to contradict that person versus how long are you able to stay open and receive information, being the person who needs to go on offense? How much can people lean into you? It's a fair question. The other thing I'll say, just to close the show, is whatever belief you just thought of, it's wrong. And that's okay. I'm not saying it's entirely wrong, but it isn't perfect. We don't know all the things, right? We'll never understand how future circumstances affect it. Whatever belief you're holding near and dear, to remain true needs to remain modifiable, because the environment it's in 10 years from now isn't the same as today, so neither can the belief. Are you willing to keep it true by making it modifiable, or have you closed the door? How much can people lean into you? And how good can you be at finding others who allow themselves to be leaned into? That's the key. Think about it. Thanks for being here, y'all. PTOnIce.com. Hope to see you out there this weekend, maybe next weekend. Everybody, have a killer Thursday.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.